Who's ready?
Everybody's ready. Hey, everybody.
Hey, Dr. Scott.
What's happening, my man?
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing pretty great.
I tell you what, it's a heck of a day already. You and I, we jumped the car, we head over here. We got a lot to talk about, a lot of action on the table.
Wide the hell open.
It is wide open. As we talked about in show number 2, it's out of control.
It's out of control.
It is out of control.
I can't tell if it's the fine weather that's got me excited.
Yes.
Or all the chaos I'm getting caught up in.
Oh, yeah. You're feeding into it. Everybody is feeding into this
Everybody's
angst,
feeding into it.
this anxiety. You know, everybody's getting stressed out. And you know what? It's over nothing. It's not necessary.
Well, it's not over nothing.
Well,
we got an election coming up.
I correct that statement.
The
You're right.
Earth,
Yes.
the planet,
Yes.
depends on this election.
It's critical.
Did you watch those debates?
Absolutely.
Everybody's got an opinion.
Everybody, a different opinion.
Everybody's got an opinion.
Yes. Yes.
What do they call it? A dumpster fire?
I've heard dumpster fire many times from people who wouldn't use the word dumpster fire, okay?
Actually, you know what I used? Well, the word starts with S, so you can imagine a show.
Oh, yeah.
Or storm.
A shot show.
Yes.
A shot.
No, the word you used last week. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who won it? Who won the debate?
Who
won the debate?
I don't think neither of them did.
I've heard that too. I actually heard O'Reilly last night speak and really put some good commentary to it. That he said, did Biden win any votes off of his debate show? No. Did Trump win any votes off of his debate show? No. Neither one of them advanced their party or their agenda toward getting elected to president.
I know one thing for sure. Chris Wallace damn sure didn't win.
You know what? He didn't stand a chance. He didn't stand a chance.
I was watching it. We're talking less than 5 minutes into this debate.
Oh,
less than 5 minutes into the debate. This guy, Trump, I was thinking it in my mind, and President Trump took the words out of my mouth. He said, am I debating Biden or am I debating you?
He did.
He said, either way, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, bring it on. He's ready. He's ready.
Yeah, he was kind of a joke, but that's okay. What do you expect?
He was charged up, man. Trump was so charged up. He was on fire. He could spit venom. I mean, he was ready. He was ready to
I disagree.
fight.
I disagree.
Okay.
He's always ready to fight.
Yes. But
I didn't see him spitting venom like I think he could. I thought he was pretty subtle myself.
You and I had that conversation earlier where, you know, I was looking at his body tone, his facial expression, you know, he had it many times. He is very poised and very collective in his approach, but he had it, you could see it on his face. It was
there, but he did not unleash the lion.
Okay. Well,
he did not unleash the lion. Are you serious? Have you heard the things come out of Trump's mouth?
Then that's a big lion.
He was very, I think he was
poised.
Very poised.
Okay.
Very well spoken, considering the situation.
Yeah.
Considering the situation and what he could have done. 100%. There was definitely a winner.
Okay. Look, I'm going to agree with you there. I don't want what I just said to come across wrong or negatively. I support Trump, not 100%, but 110%. I've got the extra 10% for Trump because of what he has done, because of what he's willing to do. And when we reelect him in November, what he's going to do over the next 4 years.
Let me tell you what Chris Waldo did. Chris Waldo had the nerve when President Trump and Joe Biden were going back and forth. It's a debate. That's what they're supposed to do. One was talking a little over the other, but we could all hear what they were saying. Chris Waldo has the nerve to say, hey, and butt in like he did all night, at least against the president. Butt in and then say, oh, how come I shouldn't have the right to butt in like you guys are doing it? Because you're Chris Wallace. You're not the president of the United States.
You're the commentator.
Who are you?
He wasn't he wasn't as big as he thought he was.
He thought he was on the same level as those two guys.
Agreed.
Well, you know what they're going to be doing for the next debate, right? They're talking about once your 2 minutes is up, they cut the other person's mic off.
This is a
control.
debate, people.
Here we go. Here
This
comes
is
the
a
control.
debate.
Yes. Let them go.
Let them go.
Let them go.
There is a winner and a loser in a debate.
You know how much Dana White could make if he could get Trump and Biden in the octagon? The whole world would spend $50 to watch that one go down.
Wait a minute. I don't think Joe Biden would know how to get into the octagon. He wouldn't remember.
I'll be honest with you. From what I've seen in the media about Joe Biden and what I've heard, I don't keep up with this stuff like all you guys. But he seemed, compared to what I've seen in some blips and some reels and a compilation of how he loses his mind and loses where he's at, he actually held it together pretty good for, he lost it emotionally a little bit. I would too if someone's trying to attack my son and my kids.
Yeah.
But when you can't defend them, that's your problem. That's your son's problem. But he held it together pretty good considering the intellectual capacity that I've heard he does not have.
Well, I'm going to agree with you that when I watched it, I saw the same thing. Okay. But right after the debate, Hannity came on and he had the layout and they literally put the clips with Biden's stumbles, his verbal stumbles in line. And there were many. Okay.
Okay, well, they talk
many.
for an hour and a half. He's 100 years old. Hell, when me and you talk here, I stumble a little bit.
But we're not talking about you and I. We're talking about the most powerful position in the entire world. We're talking about electing a person to run not only our country, but the world.
Compared to what I've heard and what I've seen for an hour and a half, the boy kept it together.
He didn't.
He didn't have any good rebuttals.
No.
All he could do, they talked to somebody throughout the blame of name calling. I want to say it was Chris Waldo. But what happened is I noticed it right away. They started calling Trump names. Name calling. How childish can you get?
They always do.
Hey,
He called him a clown, called him a fool, a liar. Come on. You're asking for a fight. And that's what I'm saying. I think the president held himself well compared to what I would have done and compared to what I think he could have done. So here's the thing. Biden's not a bad guy, I guess. I don't know the guy. But what I do know is bad. They're pulling his strings. Almost all politicians are being pulled strings by other politicians or lobbyist group, whatever. That's the reason why Trump was elected to start with. We didn't want a politician as a president. We got tired of it. Let's not lose sight of that.
We like the business mind. We like the understanding he has of how to run a business. We feel the country should be run.
The common man.
Yes.
The common man. Okay, he's an asshole. Sometimes. Many times. I don't know. But I'm sure you are too. And most of you listen, I'm sure you've been an asshole here or there. But here's the thing. We're tired of politicians being in politics. That's where it's all at.
The game.
They're all being pulled here and there. And if anybody's not going to be pulled and be controlled, our only hope is President Trump.
President Trump.
That's it.
Amen.
Now, is it still going to happen? Come on, man. It's still going to happen, but not to the degree it would with anybody else.
No, he is a fighter. He is out for, as you and I call, the common man, the people we see every day on the streets, in the restaurants, at the gas stations, interacting everywhere we go, from the kids' schools right on down to walking down the street. So these are the people who make up this country. And what's important is Trump understanding how that person thinks. He's at the top of the mountain as far as success and money and well-to-be and what he could choose to do with his life. But he understands the man working every day. Okay? That's amazing to me that he has that ability to relate and correlate.
And not only the man working every day, the women working every day.
Absolutely.
He's surrounded by them all day long, and he doesn't settle. If you don't cut it, you're out. And that's okay.
Yes.
That's okay. But he does appreciate that. He is that. A lot of people listening are that. And just like you said, that's what made America. The majority of America is that. Are there people now who are not like that? Absolutely. Are there people now who look down upon people who work like crazy and trying to get ahead and trying to earn and gain and acquire and succeed for themselves, for the family? Is that looked down upon? Yes, especially with white males. Absolutely. But I will tell you one thing right now. What males, white, black, Hispanic, all of them, you know what they admire?
What?
They admire a strong man who's willing to take up for what he thinks and to do what's right for everybody around as much as he possibly can.
Yes.
You know what women want? You know what women like?
What?
White women, black women, Hispanic women. Women love also a man who is strong, who will stand up for what's right, tell it like he sees it, whether he's right or wrong. They like it.
Yes.
We need it.
A man's man is what I was always told when I was young, okay? You have your parental, you have your father figure, but you also take the other men in your life, in your community, your baseball coaches, your teachers, your Sunday school teacher, the deacons in the church. You have this group of men who give an impact upon your life to help you see how you should learn to become and what you want to be. And Trump understands that. He understands the connectivity of all of it and how the multiplier effect, okay? When one gets a check, he's got to go spend that money and it's going to multiply. He's going to go pay for food. He's going to pay for his house. He's going to pay for all these things that put money in other people's pockets.
And if he doesn't do it right at the right time, you're dead.
Yes.
The country will die.
You cut it off.
The country will die.
The other 6 don't get it.
The country would die. And here's who's really running the show. We know it. It's the government media complex, the government pharmaceutical complex, and the government military industrial complex. They want strife. They want
conflict.
And it's
hate.
Hate.
They're spewing hate.
It's unbelievable. And you know what I love what Trump said? They could have expounded on it. I would have loved it. He said, we're cutting out these pharmaceutical crooks, charging all this money for these poor people who are suffering when we have access to inexpensive medications, inexpensive treatments. He said, we're cutting that out. He said, we're going to have the right to try.
Yes.
You can try stem cell regenerative medicine. You can try vitamin infusions, high vitamin C infusions to help fight and boost the immune system, to help you out with cancer, autoimmune conditions. He said, we're going to do it.
And, they focus so much back on the ACA, the Affordable Care Act, and how Trump is so against it. You know what? Trump's not against the whole thing. He's gone through and cherry-picked what works and what is best, and then what he doesn't like is what's getting excluded. So when they talk about pre-existing conditions, okay, Trump's not going to deny pre-existing conditions. Where the challenge is at is the government has insurance set up state by state, okay? So if you're in North Carolina, if you're in South Carolina, you've got to use that state's plan of where your residence is for where you sign up. You may be able to go outside of your state, which in most cases you can, okay? And we're talking about under 65, not over 65, because that's where Medicare kicks in. But there's a lot of discussion that's not accurate. A lot of people don't have the complete understanding, and they get caught on a tangent that affects them. That's an incorrect information. They've got misinformation.
Here's what people can't understand.
All right.
And it's the 2 things President Trump addressed.
Okay.
He said, we're cutting these pharmaceuticals from gouging these prices.
Amen.
You know what he also said?
What's that?
And this is what everybody can appreciate. He said, we're cutting the premiums down. That's what really matters. He gets it. Get what you need to get and cut the bottom line so that we can continue to thrive and survive and not go broke trying to be healthy.
Agreed.
He hit the 2 points everybody really cares about. All this other bureaucratic, this and that, this act, that act, this covered, this state. It's too convoluted. It's a politician's world. You convolute it so nobody can understand it so I can control you. Trump addressed it perfectly. We cutting the pharmaceutical gangsters out, and we're cutting your premiums down.
Bingo.
That's it. What else you going to do? Now, is there a big fight against Big Pharma and all the drugs that they're pushing and all the people they're killing and the kids they're doping up? Yeah, that's a big fight because they got a lot of money.
Yes.
And they got a lot of strings and a lot of groups and organizations that are calling the shots. But if anybody is going to make leeway with those gangsters dishing out drugs for the past 100 years, if anybody's going to do it, it's going to be President Trump.
He's the only one.
That's right.
He's the only one with the wherewithal, with the brass, with the ability to fight, the interest in fighting the good fight. He's the only one. He's there. I'm not concerned as much about why we have Trump in office, but it's more so what we're going to do once we lose this great general of this nation? Okay, what will we do after Trump? Because his impact has already been so significant. We must have him for another 4 years. We must to carry over and make his legacy what it deserves to be. He must be reelected. And let's you hit on something that was real big. I'm gonna go back and touch real quick. ACB, Amy Coney Barrett. What a brilliant nominee for the Supreme Court. Okay. He pushed all the buttons. He went back and he's looked at her history. He's looked at her judgments. He sees where she comes from, what she believes, but how she also lives her life. She's a mother of 7, 2 adopted children. Okay.
Let me tell you what I love about Trump.
Let me hear it.
Let me tell you what I love about him.
I can't wait.
They simply started talking about this issue, okay?
Yes.
Appointing this judge.
Yes.
President Trump simply said, I was nominated for 4 years. Let me do my job. And Chris Waldo and Joe Biden just could not understand. They just couldn't wrap their mind around, hey, I got a job to do for 4 years. There's a vacancy. I got to get this thing done. That's what I do. And they just I just don't get it. Even the media is still there. It's just, it's such a simple concept to understand. But you know what they always say. You can't fix stupid. You can't fix stupid.
You can't fix stupid. It's broke.
Especially when you got 2 of them in the room. Not to mention the little bit of stupidity that Trump carries along with himself. You stir all that up.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Cut the mics off.
So here we go.
Let
ready?
Chris Waldo show what an idiot he is.
I was told this, and this is a great one. Are you ready for an analogy? Do not argue with ignorance. It will drag you down to its level and beat you with experience every time. Every time.
That's deep. You can't. How about when they went and they attacked Trump with this racist comment?
Oh my gosh.
Unbelievable. Number one, the media is number one, the biggest, it irritates me to death of propagating racism in this country. This country is not racist.
It's not racist.
It is not racist. I just purchased something at the convenience store, and this nice black gentleman came up, started punching something on the computer. Just a civilian here. He didn't work at the store.
Didn't know you.
Didn't know me.
Never seen you.
Never seen him before in my life. Bump, pressing something. I just looked at him. He said, "Yeah, sometimes I can press a couple of buttons here and give you a coupon, save you some money." Well, thank you, sir. No problem.
Was that racist? No. That's good quality human being.
Now, are there some idiots out there
who
have racist tendencies or even pure racist? Yes, of course. But not the percentage where we need to spend 15 minutes, 10 minutes, even 5 minutes on a presidential debate where the country and the world's on the line with something so stupid.
Amen. And news medias, conglomerates, just hoarding the airway, broadcasting all this hate, all this racism.
President Trump handled it perfectly. He almost did as much as he can to ignore it, to help everybody understand. I don't really believe there is a racist problem in this country. Yeah, are there some idiots out there? Yes, but I'm not spending my time on air talking about the small portion of idiots who have these racial tendencies and racism. No, the country is not racist.
No,
the media is disgusting.
The biased media.
No offense, Rick Roberts.
None taken. I don't consider
it's media. He's not the media.
What we do, what we do here has nothing to do with television. That's the problem, because in television, they're always in a ratings period 24/7. Right now, this election is their Super Bowl, just like it is when there's a hurricane. It's the Weather Channel Super Bowl.
True story.
Very true.
True story.
Look at the knowledge. Look at the cranium full of knowledge we just had dumped on us.
Rick Roberts in the house.
Thank you, Rick. We needed that.
So what do you think? Do you think it was a setup? You think it was a setup for Trump? Because if it was, they failed.
Well, we've got 2 more debates coming, so don't forget, Trump's thinking 2 steps ahead in every chess move he makes. So he may, in this first debate, without even making anybody aware, went ahead and set up his checkmate for the end point of the game with these debates, okay?
What do you think he's got planned? I heard he said he's got some things that are going to be exposed and come out that's going to rock the world.
Yes. Well, obviously, it's going to have to do with Biden. It's going to have to do with the Democrats. It's going to have to do with the former administration that we're not even going to use any other term than the former administration. It's going to have to do with all that Russian collusion stuff that is, it was inaccurate the whole time, was not correct. Trump did not participate in that. May it have happened, okay? Every country out there is trying to infiltrate Facebook, social media, cause discourse in our country, and potentially create havoc, okay? Trump's not behind that. Trump's trying to settle it. How about, did they mention the other night in debate Trump being nominated 3 times for a Nobel Peace Prize?
No.
Of course not.
I've never heard of that.
You didn't know that?
No, I didn't know
Yes.
that. Oh, wow.
Yes. How about that?
Yeah, he just got his third nomination.
Third.
I think the guy was from Australia.
So UAE and what he has done in the Middle East in bringing conflict between 2 countries over there is world-renowned within the past 100 years. Okay? He is accomplishing stuff in the Middle East that all the rest of the presidents together over the past 50 years have not achieved. He has made remarkable results around the world.
How come they didn't talk about some of the successes Trump and the administration, and just recently, a lot of these pedophile rings being shut down? They didn't mention anything about that, and I don't hear about that on the major media.
No, of course not. That's going to make Trump look good. He's fighting the good man's fight, and they can't make him out to be the good man.
No, they don't. They didn't mention that because it doesn't fit the media's narrative.
Yeah.
Why doesn't it fit the narrative?
Because it's not important.
Who's doing these things? Who's doing these major pedophile rings? Now we know they had this sex island. Flying out Bill Clinton, these politicians, these
Epstein's
scientists,
Island.
these pharmaceutical reps, the president of these pharmaceutical companies, the salesman, going out to this. What's the island called?
Hey, Epstein's Island. You talking about Lolita?
Epstein's Island.
Well, guess what? They also got a picture of Chris Waldo getting off the plane at the island.
He did look a little weird.
He always looks weird.
He does look a little weird. That's some deep stuff.
It's
for real now. It's not just hearsay.
No.
And you got these big ringleaders going. It's a disgusting thing that, from my understanding, is being exposed more and more.
And
under the administration of President Trump.
Guess who at Mar-a-Lago prevented Epstein from coming? Got dismissed. Trump kicked him out. Okay? There was a conflict with, and I don't want to speak on air and not have my facts right, but there was some type of conflict that Epstein had at Mar-a-Lago, which is Trump's, big national golf course down in Florida, and Trump kicked him out.
Well, we know why. The question is what's being done about it. I think something's being done about it.
Trump was already doing something to protect his property, his reputation, and his employees, what was taken, and his customers.
What about that laptop with all these emails going back and forth with this one pervert and what's her name? Hillary Clinton. Who's the guy that had the laptop? Who's the guy that had the laptop?
Hold on. I remember that story. That's been a while back.
Peter Short, or what was his name? Wiener? Short Wiener?
You're talking
Peter
about
Wiener?
Anthony Weiner?
Is that who? I have no idea.
It was his, it was
some Wiener guy had a laptop. He got caught doing something with, some kind of sex scandal.
Wiener
I don't know.
Yeah, he was sending underage girls pictures of himself. He was sexting, as they call it, and his wife was Hillary Clinton's right arm person.
Okay.
What was her name? Uma? Ish. But anyway, Ish. I think we're mixing a couple of stories here, and you know what? We want to keep our facts straight, but everybody out there knows what we're talking about. They heard
That's some sick and disgusting stuff.
It is. And the Clintons are right up in the middle of it.
And the Clintons are all up in those far liberal Democrat.
Of course, they control it. The money. What was it? What was the International Clinton Foundation that all these leaders from other countries were just putting hundreds of millions of dollars in to give the Clintons power around the globe to use other countries' money to influence what takes place in the United States?
Now you want to hear something interesting about this state?
Let's hear it.
The guy that's running against Lindsey Graham?
Oh, Jamie Harrison.
He's getting his money
Yes.
from the Clintons.
Yes.
You got all these illegal things Hillary Clinton's been found to do. Nothing's being done. And they're doing everything they could for the past 4 years, even before the election, to try to shut Trump down. A waste of our money, a waste of our time.
Destruction of our country.
It's unbelievable.
It's a shame.
And guess what we're going to do?
Disgusting.
We're going to do it again for 4 more years.
Yes.
We'll do it again.
Yes, we are.
We'll do it again.
Stand behind this man running for president.
If they don't want somebody like Trump creating a dynasty on the Hill, if they don't want that to happen, then they should just quit doing what they're doing, because what they're doing is setting a huge antagonistic fight up against somebody who can pull it off.
Yeah, so you remember Napoleon?
Yep.
One of Napoleon's famous quotes was divide and conquer.
Yes.
Okay? Divide and conquer. And that's what the outside forces are trying to do to this country. This country needs to come together. This country needs to embrace, okay? We don't all think the same way, and we all don't want the same things. But what we have to do is start to respect other people. As we have said before on this show, whatever happened to the golden rule? Do unto others as you would have them do unto you, okay?
That's it. Well, here's the thing. There's a lot of garbage out there, and ultimately Trump, whether you like him or not, certain things he does or don't do, I know one thing he's doing is he's solving problems. It's all about, and here's the thing, he's helping solve problems, but we got to solve our own problems. Take care of yourself. Make sure you can solve your own problems, and that's what it's all about. That's what we do. That's what we do at my practice. That's what I pride myself in my life, solving problems.
Yes,
and that's what it's all about. Well, hey, we're out of time.
Already?
We're out of time.
We just started.
We're out of time.
I'm not ready to go.
We're out of time.
All right.
We got to go. Hey, thanks for being here.
Thank you, Dr.
Rick
Scott.
Roberts. Hey, thank you, everybody, for listening. We will catch you next week. Remember, if you want to catch this show and the other shows, go to Dwyer Scott on YouTube. Peace.